What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and happy 2024. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and I love Saturday nights because it's when I get to host The Awakening World. And our Saturday night edition is always filled with some amazing luminaries. And tonight is really fun because I get to have my wonderful friend and co-host Tanjila with me. And of course, she is the creatrix of not just SoulSearch, but now SoulSearch TV. Welcome, Tanjila.
Thanks so much, Scott. Happy New Year to everyone. So exciting to be with all of you this evening as we're starting off 2024 together. It's going to be an amazing year for all of us. So excited to be with the Global Peace Tribe family, all of you guys coming in the Zoom room, and of course, tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. We're excited to be here with all of you tonight.
Now we're doing something a little bit different tonight. We've got some wonderful presenters, and you're going to see who they are in a moment. And they're each going to have a chance to talk a little bit about what they're doing this year, what their new offerings are, what they're going to be doing on SoulSearch TV. And that'll be the first half of the show. And then the second half of the show is going to be a roundtable conversation where we all are going to ask each other deep, revealing questions. And we're also going to take questions from the audience. So pay close attention to what everybody shares and then put into the chat box your questions, and we'll try and get to as many of them as we possibly can. And to give you a chance to see who we've got with us tonight, we've got Asil. He's been traveling all over the world. Just completed a cross-country trip across the United States, landed in Sebastopol. I know some of our viewers are in the Northern California area. And so we're grateful to have Asil with us. And good evening, my friend. How are you feeling?
Feeling fantastic. It feels like there's a strong tailwind that I've been sensing in the last couple of weeks just before the end of the year. And I feel like there's a strong uplift that we're going to be feeling and receiving in this new year.
Well, that's a beautiful vision. And that's what tonight's all about, visions for the new year. So thank you. Hey, we've got two of our favorite guys, not one, but two. We've got AJ and Thomas, and they are, of course, intuitive channels and great guys. We always enjoy having you. What's your initial thoughts about the new year, guys?
We agree completely with Asil. Let me just start and say we have that same sense of excitement and all that sort of heading towards this is going to be an exciting year. We think this is going to be quite an exciting year. So excited to see. You know, exciting is not always easy.
Roller coasters are exciting.
Turbulence is exciting. So I do think we're in for some tumbles, but approaching it as an adventure is the answer.
And we're so looking forward to this evening. As always, we've invited our guides in. They're always whispering in our ear, and they're going to be providing some magical insight in sharing with you tonight.
Oh, good. My girlfriend was asking if you guys were going to channel tonight, so there you have
Well,
it.
we're not going to formally channel, but we are going to bring in the guides for some inspiration, and they'll be guiding us along the way for sure in answering your questions.
They
Maybe
kind
the
of
guides,
said
maybe
before
the
the
guides will have
program-
some probing questions.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Hey,
Kind
I
of
want
said
to
before the
other people-
program that we're already here.
Okay, good. Well, I want to introduce some of the other people that we have because we've got amazing guests. We've got Light Codes by Laara, and you've seen her on some of our SoulSearch collaborations, and also we had you on our Authors That We Love series with your new book.
It's so great to be back, Scott. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're really, and you're going to be leading our meditation tonight. So for all of the people that come every night to our evening meditation, Laara is blessing us with her meditation tonight.
We'll do an amazing light language channeling for the meditation.
That's going to be really fun. Looking forward to it. And Ashita is back. Hello, Ashita.
Hello, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring up your wonderful friend here, Tanjila. Look at these two beautiful women. Oh my gosh. You both have that. I always tell Tanjila she reminds me of Mary Magdalene. Like that's how I think Mary Magdalene must have looked. But Ashita, you also have that very beautiful Middle Eastern look as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. And while we've got you both up, let's bring up Tanjila's wonderful partner, Barbara. Welcome back, Barbara.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us all tonight.
And what's alive for you tonight?
I am feeling, and my pup is feeling, I don't know if you could hear him dancing in the back here, but I'm feeling all the magic of new beginnings, the power. I think this week, there were 3 nights when I couldn't sleep until about 3 in the morning because I was just feeling the energy, seeing all this purple light swirling in my room, and I just surrendered and enjoyed the ride.
That's a pretty fun way to start the new year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, it's Saturday night, Barbara, and we always have wonderful music on Saturday night.
Yes.
And what a blessing that we've got somebody that I know that you've got a great relationship with. It's Peter Sterling. And Peter's one of our favorite musical artists. And he's going to do double duty. He's going to play his beautiful harp, but also share with us a little bit about new beginnings. And what's something that's alive for you tonight, Peter?
Well, I'm grateful to be here in this beautiful unified field of love and light with everybody here. I just really appreciate this tribe, and thank you for wanting to include me. I love the opening trailer that you've created, and it really has captured the spirit. And I feel very uplifted to be here. I'm having a very deep new beginning kind of experience in my personal life in many ways, which I'll share more. But yes, personally on the microcosm, I'm very excited about this year, of course, and things I'm working on bringing through, and collaborations and synergizing with people with my music and my some of my other offerings that I have a oracle deck that I'm coming out with later this year that I've been working on, the Portals of Light oracle deck, and which is based on my art. And also working on a new album, and I'll share a little bit more of that when I play for everyone.
Fantastic. Well, looking forward to hearing about that.
And also excited for my offerings with SoulSearch. So,
Yes, we're really excited about your SoulSearch TV show, Peter, and sharing your music and your angelic healings on the land and everything else that you do with the world. We're super excited about all of that.
Me too.
Tonight's theme is new beginnings, and one of the great new beginnings is being a newlywed. And here is Charlie, who of course is a brilliant psychic. We've had him on the show many times. He's also a newlywed to Tanjila. So talk about new beginnings. You guys are really representing that for us tonight.
Yeah, there's so much of the new beginnings going on, beginning with our marriage, and I can feel the energy already building for a lot of stuff to come this year. It seems like a lot of new things are beginning just organically. So it's like we've got to ride this wave. We're being given a whole lot of energy to use, and use it or lose it. We want to keep that flow going.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to hearing from you, Charlie. And because it's Saturday night, lots of wonderful music. And of course, we have our beloved brother, Omashar, with us, who's going to give us 3 songs tonight, starting with one right now.
Starting with one right now. Yes, indeed. Happy New Everything, everybody. And I've just got a couple of texts got from people saying, help. So we'll need to look out for that.
And also, Scott, someone was asking, sorry to interrupt you, I'm sure, but I think Dr. Laura was asking for the phone numbers and codes so people can also call in by phone. They're having some problems. So if you could provide that in the text chat and also maybe just email it out, that would be great. Okay, thanks. Sorry, go ahead.
We're just flowing. This is a round table. And no, George, I'm not muted. I'm just shouting. So happy new everything. And to me, New Year means blank slate, and for me the first thing is, where do I hold my focus this whole time, this new year? And of course it is in my heart, and this song is about that. And let's go to a fiery backdrop and let's go. In your eyes, where is the joy in your heart? Why are you hiding from me? Staying locked in your doubts. My love is all that there is. Your fear is hurting you so. I know it's all that you feel, and that it's hard to let go, let go, let go, 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 that look in your eye, you do not believe in me. You'd rather live in your dreams. I've come to set you free. I am the lover you need. I hold my hand out to you. All I ask is your trust. I love you more than you know, and I love you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you,
Wow, let's all twinkle Omashar. That was a great song. Woo, amazing.
Yay. Always
Well,
fun.
you're a hit, Omashar. You are.
I am that I am.
That's a really good one. That's a great opening song. And hey, everybody, a reminder that although you can see Omashar every Awakening World show, you can also go to his website. It's his name, omashar.com. Go down to Bandcamp, and that's where you can buy his albums. Let's all support our beloved brother. His music's amazing. Listen to it all week long. You hear some of the songs on our show, but you can listen all week long to Omashar. He is the musical artist. He is the music of our time. And
Thank you, brother, so much. Namaste.
I'm so grateful that we did start a new year together again.
I know, what a trip. It happened, and here we are.
Here we are. All right, well, I'm going to bring on my wonderful co-host, Tanjila. Tanjila, take it away and introduce our first guest.
Sure, Scott. I'm excited to be introducing Asil Toksal. He is an incredible channel and spiritual teacher and guide. Asil has gone through his own spiritual journey and awakening process with many surprises along the way, which for those of you who are curious, you can ask him about later. But through that process, he actually had to really release his old identity, his old life, his old way of being, to now channel the Elohim, angelic realms, celestial realms, and benevolent beings who are all here to support us during this evolution of humanity at this time. So welcome, Asil. Thank you for doing the work you do, and we're happy that you're joining us tonight.
Thank you, Tanjila, for having me once again.
Of course, it's great to be having you. And we're also excited because Asil has an incredible new show on SoulSearch TV. Evolution One presents Sacred Earth Expedition.
That's right. So part of my unfolding as it comes, Spirit said, well, these are the pieces that humanity will require along the way, and this is the type of work we're going to do through you. And some of that work will require you to go to sacred sites around the world. And I said, wow, that sounds amazing. And then they added, well, some of these sacred sites are also sites of collective trauma, meaning some of those places are very heavy and hold dense energies that require to be transmuted, transformed, aligned, and reconnected to the entire fabric of this energetic grid we have. And this grid helps all of humanity as a result of being energized, uplifted, and realigned.
Beautiful. And it's powerful work that you're doing around the world. And now people from anywhere, so all of you watching can now join Asil doing this global grid work, not just as a viewer, but also as a participant.
That's right. So in our SoulSearch TV show, the first country that we have released was Guatemala. Now it's the big island of Hawaii. And then there will be the Balkans with Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, and Kosovo. And then there will be Costa Rica. So among the dozens of countries I've visited, some of which we filmed professionally, and we made these episodes to bring closer to everyone that's watching what it is like to go to sites of incredible power of ancient civilizations, but also the dormant nature of the beings that are on those sites. You go to a volcanic place or a dormant volcano, it's pretty guaranteed there will be some powerful energies and beings that either want to speak or want to have themselves known. And many are awakening. And this is a really interesting time of not just humanity's awakening, but of the awakening of very, very powerful energies that are in support of humanity's evolution.
I know, I thought it was very beautiful when you brought through the father of the forest in Guatemala.
Yes, there is a really powerful site, pretty close to Tikal, actually, Tikal being the most extravagant, Mayan civilization outpost in the jungles of Guatemala in the north. There's a place called Huashactun. It's a fairly smaller place that is less visited. A small village is kind of like the local stewards. So we went there, not knowing why we're being called to go there. And I'm sitting on one of these pyramids, and the Elohim come through, they do some of this alignment work, and suddenly I'm feeling this presence approaching. And the guides are like, it's okay, they are allowed to talk. And so I get this connection with this being, and its name is the Father of the Forest. And it says, I've been here for tens of thousands of years. I've seen humanity come and go. I've supported those that have served with a pure heart. And I am the steward of this forest. And I'm getting chills talking about it. But it was just such a beautiful, reverent perspective and presence. And it said, I'll support you and I'll support those that are in pure heart serving all of humanity, just like I have supported everyone before you. And those are some of the, small bites of incredible, experiences that we have on these journeys. And we want to be able to share that with everyone. And that is on SoulSearch TV available.
Exactly. And it's so beautiful. I see Deborah is commenting, yes, the awakening of the divine elementals. And that's exactly what's happening. And to be able to be with you, Asil, on this journey as we hear the elementals awakening and sharing their thoughts and perspectives and their love and support for humanity during this.
Absolutely. And the amount of dragon beings that are awakening, it's pretty nicely correlating with the year that we are moving into. But wow, it seems like all of them are just coming out of their slumber sleep that they've been in for a while. But it's going to be a wild party we are having here.
Exactly. And that's why you had the feathered serpent awakened there with you as well, and bringing through that incredible power, which I think even for you, the energy was hard to hold.
Yeah, so that was, it was about 2 years ago when I went to that place in Guatemala with a temple dedicated to the feathered serpent, Cucumats. And the Mayans revered Cucumats as this incredible deity. And Cucumats then became, in the Aztec tradition, Quetzalcoatl, a powerful being, right? So I'm there just doing the work that we're meant to do at this temple that is dedicated to Cucumats. And, hold and behold, it just rises out of the ground. I feel the energy lifting up, and it literally enters my body. And I'm in this embodied state with this energy that is so strong, it knocked me out. I came back online, and then it started to talk through me in this like really deep voice. I'm sitting in the blistering sun, like sweating, and this incredible energy coming through me like fire. But the words it had to say were just, once again, so touching and so inspirational. Nothing that I would have expected from a dragon in that way, but it was just almost like a wise elder speaking and basically saying, okay, it seems like humanity is now ready, that we are coming back. And we knew that this time would come. And while many of us had left when the gates to heavens closed, some of them stayed behind and they went dormant, waiting for the time of the awakening of humanity. And it is that time again. How fascinating is that?
It's amazing. And it's just amazing that, we can travel with you to these sites and then communicate as you're communicating with the nature spirits, with the gods and goddesses, with all of these ancient energies coming through, and also learning about that history of these ancient civilizations, the galactic connections, the multidimensional connections. So it becomes, this incredible spiritual journey for all of us to go on with you, and connects us to these different levels of each of these sacred sites.
Without a doubt, there is so many different perspectives. We can look at something from different angles, right? So in this case, in Guatemala, we had an archaeologist with us, and we had meetings with indigenous elders, Mayan elders. And then we have the perspective of the Elohim on top of that, which includes some of this intergalactic interventions and support to humanity. So it's a very multifaceted perspective that we gain as a result of ourselves opening in that way. And I hope you'll enjoy that as much as we did.
Exactly. And I can also see already here, Carol said, Asil has a website for his next installment, but I can't find it. His video from Guatemala was incredible. Exactly, Carol. So each of the SoulSearch TV shows are actually, just an introduction to a very in-depth trip that you guys completed and visited many, many sites. And so for those of you who want to go even deeper into Guatemala, into Hawaii, into the Balkans, you have that, you're able to do that with the SEAL as well, and go through that full Sacred Earth expedition with Evolution 1.
Hey, I need to come in for a moment just
Sure.
because we've got to move forward.
Okay, yes, all right, let's go. Exactly, it's meditation time.
So it's meditation time. So just a quick change in agenda. We're going to go to Light Codes by Laara, and then we'll go to AJ and Thomas after that. But I do want to remind everybody who's watching on all the Facebook channels how they can find Asil. And there's two big ways I want people to know. His main website is evolution.one. Evolution.one, and there's a lot going on here. He provides free events and transmissions, so definitely make sure you put in your name and your email address and subscribe, so you're able to get access to all the wonderful things that Asil is providing, including choosing if there's traffic lights or not in the box. Didn't you want to do that? But so evolution.one is his main place. But of course, all night long, we're going to be hearing about SoulSearch TV. And so you go to soulsearch.io, soulsearch.io, which is the main website. And then that's where you're going to find all the different presenters. And there are, I think, well over 100 people now that are amazing presenters and part of the SoulSearch network. Tonight, we're doing those. What's that, Tanjila?
There are thousands part of the network, but we have, a certain number of luminaries and our TV stars
and
here.
tonight are the TV stars. Tonight are the TV stars. So SoulSearch TV is the place to go to really learn all about all these amazing people. And of course, there you're seeing Asil. But if you go to the website itself,
SoulSearch.tv.
Right.
And Scott, I'll just jump in because Carol is saying, I see 4 installments on your SoulSearch site now. So yes, we're releasing 1 episode per week of all of the shows. So Carol, wonderful. If you watched all 4 shows, the last one was the introduction to Hawaii by Asil. And then the next episode, you just have to stay tuned and it will be released this coming Tuesday. So everyone has to, keep on top so you can stay in touch with the latest shows coming out. So we are releasing 1 episode every week, and you can always go back and watch the previous episodes. And of course, if you have questions, reach out. And we have a couple of different events coming up with Asil in San Francisco. He'll be doing an Elohim transmission, the Age of the Conscious Creator, and then also he'll be doing an Ask Me Anything online January 18th. So stay tuned for that with Asil, and of course tune into his show on SoulSearch TV.
Fantastic. And we're going to get a lot more of Asil and everybody that you're seeing tonight during our roundtable conversation. So definitely stick around that because we might ask some very interesting questions of Asil. What if you always wanted to know about Asil, but were afraid to ask? Tonight's the night you can do that. So, Tanjila, would you like to introduce Light Codes by Laara?
Yes, definitely. I'd love to. So very happy to be introducing Laara. And Laara is an incredible, gifted healer and light language conveyor, practitioner, facilitator, teacher. And she has always been very sensitive since a child, but really she had this, profound awakening after being introduced to these light codes during an intense dream in 2016. And since then, she's been able to channel and translate multiple dialects of light codes and light language. And she's published several books, including her most recent Ascension Codes, Little Book of Light Codes, Volume 2. And of course, Laara has a wonderful show on SoulSearch TV called The Ascension Codes, which is really a profound show where she channels light language and introduces all of us to light codes and the energy and power that they hold. So welcome, Laara. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Tanjila. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm very honored to be offering the meditation tonight. So I feel like it would be best if we just jump right into that, I think. Okay, so I would like everybody to just take a moment and see if you can just settle into your heart space and settle into your feet. And we'll just slow our breath, maybe counting 5 or 6 seconds, your own timing on the inhale, and 5 or 6 seconds on the exhale. And what we're going to do tonight, I'll ask you to keep breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. I'm going to offer you this light language channeling for this new year. So this is an opportunity for you to listen to the light language and let it wash over you while setting your intentions for what you want to be doing this year. And what the light language is going to do is help bring in alignment and amplify whatever it is that you want to add some energy to. So I invite you to set your intentions now. Try to be as clear as possible and hold that vision, however it is that you can, in your mind's eye, in your body, feeling it, seeing it, sensing it in your unique way. Breathing with your heart and breathing with your feet. Aya toka kanalaya sa light to yishikanadaya toka manai. Taya so kina kanadaya so takana duku tukapatana sa jolo. Talai tikina solai tukukan manai satana. Po tana talaya siyu tukushikananaya zona. Hola tadaya si. Prana tolaya si chikanada yusakamati chikadatikana tuku shikamatatana. Patano tukamate si tuya tukapatano. Holau. Holau. Holau mano. Holau mono. Holau mono. Hama. Hokiano sakina gumina se tele. Kiana tukamataya sataya taya tigane. Poyo satakana taya 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 ne. Polo saya takana tana taya tigane. Tishigana toko patana ti toko sakino koprana talai ti chikanatai. Continuing to breathe deeply, continuing to hold that good intention for all that you're looking to create, be, shift, move into. Brana de sokimate shiganato la tuga pakana darai city tuga bashikamna tukamoto. Pataya sukina, pataya sukchikatanono, pataya sukchikana tokoma pana, si idino patatana tokushikana tuishikapataya sedarugu papanai, patia sokorana no kapatai, pratia satakonono kapatanai, pratigat kodukushikapata yukutalaya se yesigmotana. Honamasai. Honamasai. Oh, namasai. Oh, ana toya shikamatana se taye tukamatikano. Oh, tana taye satia tukatatakano sabata de yo. Takana, hada dokabata, hada hada. Hada 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 ha, sa sa sa. Nice deep breath. Still feeling your heart, still feeling your feet. Anchoring all the good energies and knowing with every fiber of your being how magnificent you are and all the things you're about to accomplish in this year ahead. All blessings, my friends.
Well, we're going to chat with Laura in a minute or a little bit later, but Peter, would you be willing to come right in with some harp and then we'll have our chat with you? But I think it would be just beautiful to stay in this beautiful vibration. And there's
everybody. So good to be here with all of you. Sending you my love from the galactic starport city of light of Sedona.
Thank you so much, Peter, for coming right in. That was just absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna bring our beloved co-host Tanjila in too. Share
Ooh,
with us,
thank you, Peter. That was amazing. Ooh.
what are you going to be doing for SoulSearch TV? How are you going to translate your offerings to a regular show with Tanjila?
Well, I have another aspect to my work that I do. Of course, I have a book I published called Hearing the Angels Sing, a true story of angelic assistance. And part of that will be the mechanics and the physics of the angels and the higher dimensions, the spiritual planes of, and how it was shown to me and revealed to me by the angels that I work with now for over 30 years. My music came to me here in Sedona 30 years ago. This is the 30th anniversary of the release of my first record. Actually, last year was 23, my first album, Harp Magic, and it was 30 years ago here in Sedona where I met a flock of angels that appeared to me on my vision quest here in the sacred canyons of the outback, and through going very deep into my healing process and my awakening process, but deep into the silence of these ancient canyons, it's where I began to hear the music for the first time. I heard the inner music that the mystics and the saints speak about. I heard the angelic choirs in the silence, very subtle, but then as I tuned into it, it became louder, and it was revealed to me that I was hearing something of a divine origin, and I was aware of many of the masters and saints speaking of the inner light and sound. And all of a sudden I began to have my own magical unfolding of that as that was revealed to me, and I was brought into that essence of light with the angels. And then the angels appeared and a dialogue ensued, and a great story of my soul was revealed to me by these angels that came to me, and they told me that my mission in this life was to play the harp and to channel the heavenly music of the angels for this time of the awakening world and the dawning of the golden age, and to bring peace to the global tribe, the global peace tribe, to bring this is like golden age music, and it has within it the frequencies of heaven. Because I'm self-taught, I don't know any music theory, I don't really know what I'm doing, I just put my hands to the strings and just kind of the sound comes out, So that's how it happens for me, very intuitively and guided by a higher power. So, what also came to me through this relationship was I was guided by the angels to put together a body of work which I call Keys to the Kingdom, which is a wonderful multimedia presentation that I've presented in many places around the world, even and online for many years, which is the harmonics of light and sound. So we explore the sacred geometries and the patterns, the frequencies, the vibrations, the nature of the vibratory universe and the higher dimensions. And I have about 200 images that I've collected that take people on a progression through the codes, through the light codes of the geometries of light. And it's a beautiful journey. I love it. And we touch on everything from, sacred geometry, harmonics of light and sound, DNA, crop circles, different things. And it's a beautiful, really, one of the things that I've been given is the ability to synthesize and unify a lot of these different thought streams and ideas into one cohesive whole and a vision. And it's really cool how the angels guided me to put this together. So I will be sharing a lot of that in a 10-part series, fabulous 10-part series of the codes of creation, the keys to the kingdom. So that's what the work will be for Soul Search.
I have a question for you. You having that experience of the angels coming, being lifted into such a high vibration, changing your whole life, doing this work, must have required a tremendous amount of faith, because especially 30 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of people having that experience. I think more and more people are having multidimensional experiences, interdimensional experiences. But for anybody who's having awakening type experiences, and yet they're living in 3D and they're not around other people who believe it or can relate to it, do you have any advice or tips how to still, function in the 3D world while accessing the higher dimensions?
Yes, it was quite a challenge for me during those days. At times I was when I came to Sedona, I came here to live as an artist and to pursue my artistic visions. And I'm a glass artist. I do Tiffany style stained glass since I was a teenager. And it was something I've always loved, and always just intuitively creating kaleidoscopic mandala type of patterns. And I inlay crystals and gemstones into my work, which is really unique. But yeah, during that time, I had one foot in both worlds. I was here in the physical, yet the spiritual worlds were opening. I was having a rapid kind of spiritual awakening where these higher dimensions with the angels were being revealed. And I didn't know if I was going crazy, actually, if I was losing my mind. But I didn't share a lot of what was happening in my inner world with people here in Sedona. Now, I feel blessed to come to Sedona because even 30 years ago, there was a community of light beings here. And there was a beautiful energy here with the family of light. And I got taken into that. And that was what really affected me deeply, was to join with my soul tribe and to go through our healing journey together. I did a lot of deep, deep healing. But one of the things, when I started to connect with the angels, one of the things they said to me over and over, and I'll share this with everybody, is trust, surrender, and let go. Trust, surrender, and let go. And it was on a level, it was very much like a death experience for me, where I died to to an aspect of myself, and I was born again into this light of the angels and into that Christ consciousness light that came. And I had to let go of my past. I let go of all my material possessions at the time, and I moved into a Volkswagen van where I could follow the angels' guidance to lead me on a magical journey to discover the things I needed that were revealed to me, so that I could remember who I was and why I came to planet Earth at this time. I've always known, like many of us here, that I was a starseed. I had starseed origins, and I was also a light worker, that I knew ever since I was young that I was here to contribute to this great awakening at this time. And so that's always been my quest to engage at that level ever since I was young. So yeah, so I wanted to just share that as far as new beginnings. This last year was fantastic with my music, with my album Mystic Voyager, that's won awards around the world and gotten a lot of recognition, and was in the Grammy Awards this year in the first round of voting. Didn't get a nomination, but it got a lot of exposure. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do after that. Well, around Thanksgiving, this since the fall and coming into the holidays, I feel blessed that I've been involved in a beautiful romance with a beautiful soul sister. And we just have it's been a powerful, powerful experience of love and intimacy and healing and all of that. And it's just been putting me through my paces. It's been challenging at times and beautiful at times and everything. And around Thanksgiving, it was a kind of a very poignant time, a very raw time. And the day after Thanksgiving, I received a message from my angels. They told me to set up my microphones out in my living room and record remotely in my big room to had a big sound of the harp. And I took this harp here that I've had for 30 years, and I got the most beautiful sound. And I just sat and I played the day after Thanksgiving all day long, just sitting. And it, within that one day, 10 new, a whole album came through. And I had received the title 2 weeks before. I was told by the angels that it's called Heaven Sent. And so I sat down and I just played from my heart because I was so raw. I was feeling so much gratitude and just everything. I was very, very open, very raw. And it just came through so beautifully. It just flowed one sequence, one composition to the next. And that's the next album. And it's coming very quickly. The first song on the album has 2 titles, and it is called The Golden Leaves of Fall, and then also New Beginnings. And I've been trying to decide what do I want to call it, because it was recorded when it was all golden around here, and golden leaves everywhere. But it was also this feeling of new beginnings that were coming to me. And so I wanted to just play into that for all of us, the feeling of new beginnings. I feel like I'm launching into this year with a lot of surprises and beautiful things to come, and just staying in the moment, setting intentions, but of course staying in the moment to just fully embody, God's presence with all of us here, and to be open to whatever comes our way. And I just wanted to play a bit of new beginnings for everybody, that I wanted to send this angelic blessing to everybody who's here, that your new beginnings for the new year will come to you with grace and ease and elegance and magic and synchronicity, and that your heart will be full, and that you'll feel love and connection and unified with the power of the universe, with God's love in your heart, and that you can be lifted to a new level of awareness in yourself, and that your dreams will come true. So I will play to that for everybody, some new beginnings. Okay.
Here we go to gallery view. Let's all twinkle, beloved Peter.
Thank you.
You know, Peter, hearing your story along with just such exquisite music, it's first of all, thank you for sharing that story and dropping into a little bit of your amazing life's journey. It's very inspiring, and so many of our so many people are putting comments in about how your music has impacted them over the decades. Just a reminder for everybody that you can get Peter's music by going to his website. And his website is heartmagic.com. Isn't that the truth? Heartmagic.com. There's his most recent album that has come out, Mystic Voyager, and we sure are looking forward to, as soon as Heaven Sent is on your website, let us know, and we will immediately let our viewers know that.
That'll be coming out this summer sometime.
All right, well, we'll definitely have to have you on again to
Okay.
do that. And I'll be in Sedona sometime, probably in March, so I'll look forward to hopefully seeing you again in at that time. And congratulations on SoulSearch TV, and God bless you, Peter. You're such a gift to our awakening world.
Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful to be here. I have to fly off with the angels now. They're taking me on another mission of light work tonight, so I have to go. But thank you for having me on the first
Thank
half.
you, Peter. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter, for joining us. You know, always so beautiful to have you with us, and your music is truly heaven sent.
Thank you. Thank you for receiving that way.
Absolutely.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
So for our presenters, obviously our agenda is getting a little bit wonky because we're just in a flow. I want to go back to Light Codes by Laara, because she blessed us with that beautiful meditation, but we didn't really get a chance to chat with her. So Laara, what are some of the new beginnings for you in your life this year?
Oh, goodness. I have to like pull myself out of that altered state that we got thrown into. Gosh. Well, this year so far has been just wonderful. There has been a lot of energy, as there often is in the beginning of a new year. Yeah, a lot of energy. I also had a couple of nights where I woke up just buzzing, vibrating, like with all the energies, and was a little curious as to what that was all going to be about. I actually haven't quite found out yet. Maybe I will never find out. You just never know. But yeah, so for me, this year is about focusing on getting light language out even more. So I'm putting a lot of effort behind sharing light language with everybody and light codes with everybody. And part of that is, of course, with SoulSearch, and which I'm just so blessed and thrilled to be a part of. What a magical, like, I don't know. It's like this incredible container that's being put together, where so many incredible people have come together and just created magic. So I'm just thrilled to be part of it. And yeah, so we're continuing on that journey, and I'm also just really excited to be going and giving talks about light language in different locations, going around the world, going to Los Angeles, going to Australia, and getting to share light language with lots of people there. So focusing on I guess clarity in where I'm going, and I think that's pretty much the message that I like to share with people, is to just settle into yourself, settle into the heart, and allow your love to move you in the directions that that you need to go in. And so I hope that that's going to get stronger for all of us this year, that we can trust that process more, and that, you know, we can only be blessed by it when we follow our heart.
Beautiful, Laara. And we love your new show on SoulSearch TV, Ascension Codes, which is such a powerful show because you are bringing through light language, light codes, ascension codes, and really like the multi-dimensional power of what these codes bring through. And actually, Susan is asking, Susan, you'll have to tune into the show, but we have Laara right here with us, so we can ask her, can you define what light codes are exactly, Laara?
Light codes are packets of light energy. So I define light codes as being of the light very specifically. So that means that they are an expression of the divine, they're an expression of love. And it's a package of information or healing that we can tune into and work with on various levels of our being. Now, light codes can come through in a multitude of ways. So they can come through in like a written form in symbols. Sacred geometry are absolutely forms of light codes. Well, obviously, we can see that in drawings. We can see it in mathematics. We can hear it in music, such as what was just being played for us. That was obviously light codes in action right there. But what's interesting, when I was listening to that harp, this is so perfect that we're getting to talk about this. Like, I can see there's a difference between light language and light codes. Light language is a stream of energy that's coming through, and it's either information or healing. Typically, it's not usually a combination, although of course that can happen, but it's typically one or the other. It's more dominant to one or the other. And light codes are more like the little packets. So when we're listening to that beautiful harp playing, very powerful, I was seeing the little individual packets coming through. It, of course, was a stream. We could feel how smooth and absolutely like gorgeous that was. But specifically, they were packets of light, where light language was what I offered earlier in our meditation blessing, where it was this kind of continuous stream. And I know that can be a little bit hard to discern the difference. You have to be kind of really tuned into it to really feel the difference. It's a lot easier when you look at my books and see, here's a light code, like that makes it a lot easier versus the long drawn out light language writing. So on the SoulSearch.io website, where we have there's a banner on there that I think is, I don't remember, but there's a whole bunch of light language on there. So you can see there's the light codes by Laara, and then around all the edges of that's all light language. Whereas if you were to, do I have an oracle card here? I have an oracle card. I can show you like a light code would be like this. So it's just one single drawing packet of information that we can tune into and work with.
Beautiful. Well, as you talked about your book, I want to really encourage everybody to go to Amazon, where they can get your book. And we, of course, featured it on one of our Authors That We Love show. And here it is. And this is your second book, correct? Your volume 2, The Little Book of Light Codes, or Ascension Codes. And anything you want to share about, what people, the value of getting this book and working with it?
So Ascension Codes, it's just as it says, it's really about ascension. These codes are taking us on a very deep journey, not only into ourselves, but also in like an expansion way as well. So we're really learning how to discover our multidimensionality, as well as connecting to even like more sacred energies. For example, the codes are structured in a way, like they're placed throughout the book in a way that where they're building upon one another. And like the last code in there is the Godhead. So it's like we're building our energy, we're learning more about ourselves, we're learning more about the universe, all the way to get to the Godhead, where we hopefully are going to experience a deeper understanding, a realization, and connection to that very, very sacred energy.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Stick around. We're going to have a part of our upcoming roundtable, and there's.
And this is one of Laara's light codes from her Oracle deck. And I actually pulled one for all of us tonight. And I pulled Pama, love of the highest order. This symbol represents pure love, as most of us have forgotten what love actually is. So what a beautiful card for all of us.
Beautiful.
That's literally my favorite code.
How perfect. How absolutely perfect. Oh, well, thank you, Laura, and we'll see you in a few minutes on our round table. But there's more. We've got the guys. We've got just two of my favorite guys that are with us. Do you want to introduce them for us?
Yes, of course. I'm so excited to be introducing AJ and Tom, speaking from Source. These guys are the most amazing intuitive channels that simultaneously channel from the mind of Source, and they bring through these incredible messages from the guides for all of us. And AJ and Tom have a beautiful show on SoulSearch TV, which it's the Infinite Pathways Journey to Self-Realization. And what I love is just the power of the message. Each time, you're bringing through a powerful message, starting with "We are eternal."
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And talk about, new beginnings. I think that the guides were just reminding us then, we were commenting about the energy of the show tonight and the power of everyone that's with us and this awakening that's coming forward. And they reminded us to take a breath because, with every breath is a new opportunity for a new beginning and an allowing and assimilation of all of that energy as well. So I'm wondering if you'd like to take 3 breaths with us, you and your audience and everyone together, just to allow in that new beginning and all of those wonderful energies to assimilate that within our very core. So we'll take a nice big breath in, hold and release. Oh. Breath in again. Hold and release. Oh. New breath in. Hold and release. Oh my goodness. The guides remind us of that often because it always returns us to our center. It always allows for grounding for us. And it's interesting because, I don't know if you can feel this. I'm sure you can. And I'm sure everyone actually watching and listening to this right now can feel the bursting forward, the seed of consciousness in each and every one of us that is bursting forward right now, which is why we needed to take that breath, because we literally are holding all of this energy and it's just starting to emerge. It's just starting to burst forward now in this wonderful consciousness that is the new year of 2024. So it really is just amazing what's bursting forward and finding that light within you and expanding that light. And what's interesting is, when you have the new seed of consciousness, this new awakening that we're all starting to come to an awareness of now, who are we as eternal beings? What are we doing on this earth? What is, my mission and my legacy and the meaning of the events and the circumstances that are around us? And, with every new sprout that bursts forward, with every new light of consciousness that comes forward, it needs that nurturing. It needs that guidance. It needs that unconditional love. And that is there for you with source consciousness. That is there for you when you connect with your higher self, when you align with your chakras, and when you connect with your guides and your light.
What's interesting is the other image that we get quite often is a reminder of the ancient circle, because as we think about all of our reality as a circle, there is always a beginning and always a middle and always an end. And so when we think about where we are spiritually, there are some things that are germinating for us. There are some things that are just starting to sprout. And there are other things that are already starting to bloom. while other pieces are beginning their retreat and then turning into their recreation. That beautiful circle. So whenever we say new, we have to remember that there's always a new, while there's always a beginning when there's always an ending. And we love that image, and why that breath we think is so very important.
And I'm sure, I mean, I'm really looking forward, both Tom and I, answering the questions tonight in the roundtable and engaging with you all to see if you're experiencing that energy within you, that bursting forward of the light, but also the idea where some things are maybe falling away, and they're naturally falling away, and it's okay to let them go, because, you know, when you have closed hands, you've got to open your hands to receive.
You know, the guides say it often. They say that every ending is really a beginning. And so we have to think always about what we're making room for the new to come in, what needs to be released, we need to let go.
And, you know, the power of that with our show is that, you know, the guides are so practical. They have this foundation for us that they lay out in each and every episode. The first one is about your eternal trajectory and who you are as a soul. And they lay out these principles so beautifully in their sharing and in their messages. And then we tie it all together with some amazing daily practices to really bring it in to your life and what's going on for you right now.
But it is important to sort of realize that's really what the infinite pathway, and we call it journey to self-realization, because that's the journey, that the infinite pathway really is a series of understandings, and our consciousness is an awareness of what is. And what's fascinating is how what we've learned in our journey with the guides has been how often we have misperceived some of those principles, right? Our human systems operate with lots of judgment and self-judgment and, you know, all that other stuff. That is not how the universe operates.
Yeah.
So it's so great to be able to channel the guides and then look across the collection that we've gathered over the years to be able to present these by principle, so that there's a blueprint for the ways we can live a life of joy. That's the whole point.
Yes, and it's there for you, you know, and particularly at this time of awakening, as you make those connections for yourself. You know, this is all about you, you know, as you go on this journey and your journey of self-realization, self-discovery, and self-awareness.
Beautiful, AJ and Tom. We just love how you all are bringing forth these messages also with such humor and fun, which I think is
They're
really
funny.
Exactly.
They're funny. We just relate it, but they're very funny.
Yeah.
I think that's great to bring that lightheartedness, you know, so people watching can see that, yes, you know, we are talking about, you know, our eternal beings, you know, and what does that mean for us? How does our consciousness and awareness shift when we really start feeling and understanding that in any way we can, the confines of our mind, but then to do that with the humor and grace and the unconditional love and support of the guides is just such a wonderful way for people to be on this journey with both of you.
And that's really a new beginning for our understanding as well. You know, we've thought in the past that we had to earn the love of Source or earn the love of others to be worthy, to do good deeds, to be able to reach some place in heaven, or, you know, to eliminate past karma or anything like that. And the guides put an amazing new perspective to enable us to see through new lenses of who we are, that we're not separated from the unconditional love of Source, that our guides are there ready and willing to answer questions. And they do it with such fun, such disarming fun. You know, we were doing a channeling together the other day in one of our private sessions for a client, and the extraterrestrial being was presenting itself and coming forward in that sense. And it's funny because I was in trance and we were just communicating the messages there. But in my mind's eye, I had this image of an extraterrestrial being, and it was the first time it ever happened. The extraterrestrial being was wearing these sunglasses. And it was so funny to me because I've never seen an image like that. And it kind of was cracking me up, and it was almost took me out of the trance. It was so funny, but they were aligning with the energy of the person that we were reading, and they presented themselves that way. And then we were able to discuss it in the debrief afterwards. It was just hysterical how they present themselves sometimes.
So I've got a chicken or the egg question for you then. Do your guides use a lot of lightness and humor because that's the nature of who you both are?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
I'd like to answer that. I mean, the answer is in part, yes. But, when you think about, when you look at being lighthearted, when you look at that aspect, it's just a higher, finer vibration. And when you operate in a higher, finer vibration, like love, for example, you're more open to receiving, and you're more open to seeing things for what they are. Sometimes when you're too close to a situation, you can't see it for the true reality of what it is. And it's because you're holding on to that density, and you're very serious about it. This is a very serious event in my life, And so they do ask us, we literally have an episode coming up called Lighten Up, connecting with the light of source and the light of consciousness, and to take those breaths to enable us that separation from our conditions and from our circumstances, in order to be able to see it from a new, lighter, higher, finer vibration. And that's why, the church bells ring those beautiful tones. That's why we resonate with the beautiful music of the harp. That's why we resonate with the beautiful light language tones that are out there, because these are all high frequency, high vibe vibrations.
But I would say humor particularly, and I've always been a humorist. I've always adored humor. I'm one of those geeks that sits around and watches people stand-up comedy acts all the time on YouTube. So I love comedy, and I think this is really about vibratory matching. I like to believe that Source kind of said, I need a couple funny guys.
Yeah.
Because we all need to lighten up a little bit. We all need to remember how to laugh. And who might that be? Honestly, when we started channeling, really, the first thing I said to Source was, really, do you really need another voice? Really? Don't you have some really wonderful people out there doing some great work? Do you really need us? And they said yes, because you have a unique perspective. And I think humor is part of it.
Yeah, and so those people that, will really resonate with us on that level. And there are others that really resonate with, all of the other SoulSearch luminaries that are out there presenting their work. It's all of equal importance.
And isn't it amazing? We have an episode coming up called All About Connecting and Connections. And I have to tell you, as I'm sitting here being part of all of this, it's so amazing to see how all of this is connected. I hope you all see this, right? Everyone watching, do you see that the overlap of these messages and the connection between our individual stories? There is this beauty. And so this is what the Merkaba is to me. When you see the Merkaba and all the gazillion connections, when it's all fully, filled out, and that to me makes me rejoice.
Yeah.
Because what confidence to know that there is a unified message of love that can carry all of us. Doesn't matter who we are. It can carry us all.
Well, you have some wonderful offerings. In fact, 3 that we're going to take a look at. I don't know if this is the right order, but
doesn't matter.
Start with something that you're doing live, and I assume that's going to.
Oh yeah, yeah, we love the opportunity to channel live in front of groups, and for them to experience firsthand the energy and the vibration of the guides. And Tanjila has this marvelous SoulSearch Enlightenment Expo coming up in Scottsdale on January 13th and 14th. And we have the opportunity to do a live channeling, 6:30 p.m. ticketed event. Tanjila, do you want to speak more on that?
Well, I mean, we're always excited to have you guys. It's at our Soul Search Enlightenment Expo in Scottsdale, January 13th and 14th. And, we have speakers all day, Saturday and Sunday, incredible practitioners. And of course, our evening event is with AJ and Tom. They did a beautiful evening event last time that people loved. And so we're really excited to bring you guys back and hearing what the messages from Source we'll all be receiving for the new year for 2024. And again, the energy is always powerful when you all are channeling, and the humor is always there. So that's what I love about it. So we're really looking forward to the live.
We always call these conversations with Source, and it's because the guides really emphasize we want to have a two-way conversation. I mean, they do pretty much an opening message for a part, but they're so interested in hearing the connection, because it's all about that connection. So, so one of the things we love about doing these live events is it gives people a chance to sit and have a conversation with the guides.
So this
Exactly.
is a
So
chance
two
to,
lucky audience members will get a chance to have some Q&A with Source. Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
well, I want to actually use this as a chance to promote how people can get to your events. So go to soulsearch.io, and then if you click events, you'll see all the events that are live that are going to be coming up. And look at all these places where Tanjila and her merry band of beloveds are going to be. Scottsdale, San Francisco, Marina del Rey, San Rafael, Burbank, and Carlsbad. All of these are like some of my favorite places on the planet, and I'm certainly hoping to be at a few of those. So, of course, they're right now talking about the next one, which is the Scottsdale Enlightenment Expo. So any of you that are near Scottsdale, near Arizona, that's next weekend, January 13th and 14th. So very, very cool. All the live events that you do, as well as SoulSearch TV. But wait, there's even more. Because AJ and Thomas are doing a lot of wonderful things. So this reminds me of Buzz Lightyear. Didn't he used to say to infinity and beyond? Right?
Yep.
So tell us about the Infinite Pathway.
The Infinite Pathway is the guides named it because they remind us that the journey is really a journey of self-realization, and it's beyond this incarnation. It is all of our lifetimes, and so it's infinite. Isn't that lovely? That's that circle again, right? There's no ending. It just continues the cycle. And so, so we really have this opportunity to sort of take the teachings of the guides. We've kind of been like librarians going through and looking at some of the topics that they've covered the most and that people have asked for the most. And we've put them into 12 episodes so that each episode covers a specific topic, and the messages from the guides, we actually play the recorded messages from the guides as well as we share some of their messages. So that's the show.
Beautiful.
And then we have our trans-channeling event that we do online as well. And there you can actually get the chance to ask a question of the guides and feel the hug that they give, during and after the transmissions that they so lovingly share. And on our website, on our events page, you can click on that and you can find all of the links to those events. You can sign up for an annual subscription to come to our online conversations with Source. We do that every month on a Sunday, or you can buy an individual ticket, which is just $33 as well. So at the top there, you've got our services and our events, and you can click our upcoming events, and you can see all of the great things that we have on offer there. It takes a little second to load there. You can see everything that we're doing, and you can click on those links to get the tickets, and a number of them are free. And of course, we have all of the episodes there as they drop each week on SoulSearch Television for you to read about them and anticipate those as well. So golly, we're just so excited to be with you and a part of the community, and the emerging of consciousness that's happening right now in all of these modalities, through channeling, through music, through light language, through intuition and psychic communication that's happening, and energy work. It's all relevant. It's all a part of the ensemble that's coming forward right now. It's all part of the package of our awakening world.
And if I can say just one more thing, I think this year, we've talked about the power of this year, and I think some of what we're going to see this year, this is the time to prepare. One of the reasons why the guides have practices is because we need some practicing. We need some preparation. Because when it does get bumpy, how do I maintain my joy? How do I keep an even keel? How do I remember? How do I not react? And so there's this wonderful opportunity, I think, for us to all prepare for what's coming ahead. And every time we attend events like this, every time we sort of share in, every time we do practice our consciousness, then we're that little bit more prepared. The guides say that joy is the antidote to our difficult situations. Isn't that lovely? And what they mean by that is, as we maintain a high vibration, regardless of whatever's happening in our lives, then we're able to move through.
Yes, to
And
transcend.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow. Beautiful. You guys, you're just two of the most wonderful people. And when you were talking about how when you were asked to be channels, are there all these other wonderful people? Well, there are. I mean, we've had many other wonderful channels, obviously, on this show, but the two of you are very unique.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know,
I just want to say for a moment, I also love that you're a beautiful couple. And
thank
really,
you.
you're such a beautiful couple. And I love that, you know, and it's that in itself is a wonderful message to see this beautiful couple and the way you give and take is very balanced. Neither one of you are, you know, more dominant than the other, at least not on camera. I don't know what is off camera, but you guys are really, really beautiful. So I just am always delighted when you're on with our show.
Oh, thank you for that blessing and that love. You know, it really is about oneness. And one of the reasons why there's two of us here is because the guides really do want to demonstrate the power of the collective mind. When we do align, you know, all of those divisions evaporate. And, you know, when we go into our channeling, we share a telepathic one mind, and it really is something to experience.
Well, they're going to be part of the round table, which we really will get to at some point tonight. But wait, there's even more. So I'm going to turn it over to Tanjila to introduce our guest.
Thank you, AJ and Tom. They are such a beautiful couple, Scott. I love them.
Oh my God.
And of course, I'm so happy to be introducing Ashita Bama, and she is a wonderful intuitive, psychic, medium, clairvoyant, energy healer, and spiritual guide. She was born a gifted clairvoyant, but then she really came into her gifts, you know, after she got to college, and she suddenly started, you know, doing readings and working with people. And since then, she's been able to support and work with thousands of people through her readings, classes, private coaching, her teachings. And, you know, she's often at our SoulSearch events, and we're just really excited because she also has a beautiful new show on SoulSearch TV, Your Divine Intuition, which is, again, a powerful show letting everyone know that all of us, you know, have intuitive gifts. All of us have intuitive capabilities. And, you know, Rashida, thank you for a beautiful show where you're really supporting everyone to step into their divine gifts and their divine power. So welcome.
Thank you, Tanjila, for mentioning that. I really liked what AJ and Tom said about how we really need practice, and we need to step into a place where we can have tools and techniques to really move through the bumps in life. Because, like they said, this year is going to be, it's going to have its ups and downs, and really major ones. So, and if you want to know, I have a whole prediction I put my predictions of what the energy will be on during this year, 2024. That's on my YouTube channel. You can just look up clairvoyant healer Ishita, and you'll find me there. And all of us can go back to our true selves, our true intuitive power that we can embody. And hopefully it's through the show or any of the other shows on SoulSearch TV to get that grounding back and get that certainty and power back. Because really, truly, if we look at the numerology of 2024, it's an 8, and 8 is that number of power and authority and leadership, but also big extremes and big investments and big gains and big losses and standing in your power. So this is really a time to start mastering. I would say even you can do it like the first half of this year, maybe just really getting into your power and your certainty around your intuition. You're going to be really well off when it comes to the rest of the year. So there's a lot of new things taking off for a lot of people and a lot of things growing, really kind of like AJ and Thomas said. So it's a really exciting thing to be able to be a part of this and see everyone expanding. And I think this was just, for me at least, a really great beginning to have be a part of 2024, the launch of SoulSearch TV. And I'm kind of changing up and changing what I'm offering now because of what the world is seeking and asking for and needing. So I just started, we'll have our first men's circle exclusively for men. All of my work is for everyone, but I think that sometimes it can tend towards women, but I think that we need a space for both people to feel safe and vulnerable. And so we have a men's circle, and I'm offering different things for my private one-on-ones. We're going to have a retreat in Bali that's going to be part of the 8-8 portal. So it's going to be a lot of manifesting big things, and we'll be there for the 8-8 portal and have a big ritual during that time for the retreat. So things are just kind of busy and taking off.
That's amazing, Ishita. And I really loved what you were saying about, how important it is for us to come into practice and come into that alignment, and much like what AJ and Tom were saying for this coming year and for this new year. And as excited as we all are about everything beautiful and wonderful that will be unfolding, there's an opportunity for us to practice our alignment, practice our, get into our intuition and support ourselves for those times where it might be a little bit more bumpy down the road.
Absolutely. And this is innately within all of us. So each episode is designed to have a new tool or new techniques and a meditation that you can listen to over and over and over again and take with you to be able to do that helps you tap into your intuition. So the hope is that this show gives you all the tools before or around March so that you can be ready for the second half of the year.
I'm reminded whenever I hear you speak, Ishita, that you really do represent the next generation. And it's exciting for me to see the next generation of young people coming up as wisdom keepers, your enthusiasm, as well as your passion.
Thank you.
And this is a good time to show people, okay, well, how do I find SoulSearch TV? Well, it's easy. You can go to SoulSearch.io, and then right there is SoulSearch TV coming soon.
Oh, and go to the website, SoulSearch.tv, actually. Scott.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do that right away then. Let's do that. I've been taking the scenic route.
Yeah, we can.
So if you go to SoulSearch.tv, and there it is. Okay. Got it. There it is. On demand. And there's all the different shows that we're hearing about. Your Divine Intuition, which we were just talking about. Evolution 1, that's the Asil show. There's Laara's show, the Ascension Codes. There's the Infinite Pathway. So many different beautiful shows that you've got
And then if you scroll down, we have a lot more that are also coming soon. Everything Temple Talk with Amanda Romania, How to Medium Well with Adelita, Multidimensional Traveling with Charlie Lamson, Becoming the Avatar with Kalina Malnar, and many more that we haven't even put out here. I think probably we have another at least 20. Barbara knows the number that are in the works and underway. So we're just so excited and grateful for all of our incredible healers and practitioners coming forth to share their journeys and to share their magic and to share their wisdom. And, like you can see here, it's always so beautiful just to see what a diverse group of practitioners, wisdom keepers, healers we have, and all of the different modalities available to us, everything from Peter and his beautiful music to Laara and her light codes and light language. So, the channeling, the intuitive guidance. So it's so rich. And for people to begin the exploration wherever they are on their journey, and then to be able to choose their own adventure and continue, that's what this is all about. And for people, to see who they resonate with and then dive in deeper. And, that's what we're opening up to people all over the world, which is really exciting. And we're just so excited to have, our amazing practitioners here sharing their gifts, sharing their teachings, sharing their guidance, their wisdom, and their personal stories, because that's fascinating for people as well. We often have these preconceived notions of what a spiritual teacher looks like or acts like, or what they share and impart with the world. And when you just start tuning in and seeing the beautiful diversity of who we have, and who we can work with, who we can talk to, who we can listen to, it's amazing.
Well, this is a good time for us to bring up your partner, Barbara, since you're talking about SoulSearch and SoulSearch TV and all that you're creating together. And I know that you do so much, and a lot of that is because now you have this wonderful partner.
Yes, welcome, Barbara. So Barbara Tintori, a lot of you all have met her in person and live, and Barbara's an integral part of our SoulSearch team. She works with and manages a lot of SoulSearch TV, working with our, amazing practitioners, helping them get clarity on their shows and their concepts, and just bringing all of this to life. So thank you, Barbara, and welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel so much joy. I felt joy when I signed on, but the amount of joy I feel right now, I don't have any words for. What a beautiful, joyous evening.
And what would you like to share that you're excited about your life, or about SoulSearch or SoulSearch TV? I want to share with the audience.
So much. So first of all, for Tanjila and I to have found each other last year in 2023. I'm so happy there was a really bright spot of 2023. So much of it was, was an opportunity, let's put it that way. I was coming off 2 years of long haul COVID and being challenged with that opportunity. Really working with ways on how to kind of react to that challenge and rise to that challenge. And I knew that I was on the right track when Tanjila and I found each other, basically. And we were on a very similar mission. My background is in acting and producing. I'm also a Reiki master and intuitive. And for me, my goal, my mission was always to combine those two worlds, my spiritual and my creative. And after my challenge with long haul COVID, I wasn't really sure how that was going to happen. I learned so many lessons about surrender in those 2 years. It was really a beautiful time. In retrospect, I'm glad it is almost over. But for me, having really combined my mission with Tanjila's mission to really provide conscious content in a way that informs and enlightens and empowers people on their path, no matter where they are. and to have it come in an entertaining, beautiful form, that has been really the best part for me in starting 2024 is having SoulSearch TV launch and really rolling with that. And in particular, one amazing thing that I really want to speak to that has come up a couple of times tonight is this whole concept of normalizing all of these things for the average person. So we are in a time of awakening where there are people who are didn't even realize they weren't already awake or didn't even really know what that means. And they're being nudged and they're being challenged with things, and they are, thinking that they may be going crazy with everything they are experiencing. So for me, there's no more important time than to provide conscious content that allows people to understand these are normal things. You too can go commune with a dragon and, glean wisdom. You too can participate in light code languaging. You too can have a visit from your loved ones in spirit, and for it to be as normal as going to the grocery store that day. So really, as we allow these concepts to be more mainstream in our world and in our lives, that will help us all in this time of awakening. And that is one of the biggest missions of SoulSearch TV, to bring that concept of normalization to the mainstream through a diverse array of shows, as you can see tonight, with many, many more on the horizon.
Beautiful. Well, we sure are grateful. And a few people have been commenting about, wow, we don't have to wait for Wednesday night or Saturday night's Awakening World anymore. We've got all this access through SoulSearch TV.
Yes.
Susan is saying access to spiritual teachers from your own living room.
That's so very true. And to discover that inner teacher within you so that you can bless the world as well. We are all in this together.
And what we also love is because the shows are created by our practitioners, people can dive deeper, whether it's taking a course, going on a retreat, doing a private session, buying a book. There's so many ways that people can continue going deeper with the practitioners that they're going on this journey with and more. So we offer that pathway, and it's just, I think it's very unique for people to be able to tune into something like this.
Yeah, that's what makes us so special as well. I mean, there are, other ways you can listen to spiritual practitioners in this world and what they offer, but through us, you can actually engage with these practitioners. You can go on trips and retreats. You can take courses. You can have a personal reading or a personal healing, and it becomes more of like a tribe or a family. And that's what we would love, to provide that safe and sacred space for people to find their tribe wherever they are in their journey.
Beautiful. Well, you're doing it. You're absolutely doing it.
Speaking of new beginnings, really.
Exactly. Well, we've got a lot to digest. Now, everybody watching, we're going to do an Omushar song, and we're going to come back and we're going to do Q&A. So if any of you in the audience have questions for AJ and Thomas or Barbara or Tanjila or Laara or Ashita, and Charlie, we're going to see the newlywed, Mr. Tanjila. Charlie is with us. So we're going to have a really fun roundtable conversation. So think about your questions, start putting them in the chat box, and let's digest all of this, get ready for our roundtable discussion with a wonderful musical interlude from our beloved brother Omushar.
we are here and now. And it's time to leave the past behind. So take me by the hand. Let us walk across this sacred land. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. What is true is a love that shines right through your eyes. I'll sail away with you across the universe. We'll fly on eagle's wings, and you know we'll cry with gratitude. Remember, you're always divinely connected. Our spirits, our bodies are being resurrected. The love in your hearts will lift you up, and I'll come along and fill your cup. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. And what is true is a love that shines right through your eyes. 1,000 sunny days describes the joy I feel. I'll walk 1,000,000 miles, 'cause you know we'll see the truth reveal. And we will. Remember, you're always divinely connected. Our spirits, our bodies are being resurrected. The love in your hearts will lift you up, and I'll come along and fill your cup.
One gala review, twinkle, twinkle time for our beautiful beloved brother Omar Shar.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
You are our star for sure. Absolutely. Thank you, Omar Shar. All right. Well, I am going to put a lot of people on camera right now. There's, of course, our wonderful co-host Tanjila and her partner Barbara. And speaking of partners, here's her other partner, Charlie. So we're going to start. We're going to ask those questions. I've already seen some questions that people have come in. But Barbara, what's a question you would like to ask Tanjila and or Charlie? And make it a good one. By the way, I put them all on the spot. None of this is.
You're on mute, Barbara.
There we go. I said, no pressure here. Thanks, Scott. The first one here. A question for Tanjila and Charlie. So I think what I would like to ask is how you specifically are what messages you're channeling around your union and how your union will bless the world and help with the awakening.
Well, we are definitely being guided to build something that is far beyond everything that we're even starting now. This is just like a, like a foundation. And I know that it is going to be, things are going to get very big very quickly. That'll probably go into what we would call sanctuaries, sanctuary kingdoms, and like big estates and schools and these kind of things down the road a little bit. But this is where all the visions and guidance are leading. And it's also going to branch out back into more mainstream work too. We're probably going back into shipping and more worldly things, but we're just waiting for my guides and the angels are just like, we're just going through this transition now where you'll be able to bring a higher consciousness into regular worldly affairs, if that makes any sense. And so that's what everybody's doing, really. But this is what we're doing.
Great job with the opening question there, Barbara. And as an actress, I thought she can handle some improvisation.
That was definitely a big question, Barbara. But I think, what Charlie was talking about is really this, this great awakening that we were all talking about on this show, and what we're doing here at SoulSearch, all of us coming together, we are seeding the consciousness for a true revolution of love. And to be able to hold that love and be that love. So we see the transformations that we're talking about as we're doing this inner work together, creating that connection of consciousness. So then we have that revolution in our education systems, in our housing systems, in our, in our commerce and economic systems. I mean, this is the new earth that's unfolding for all of us. And it's, we're here, this global peace tribe connecting together, and, talking about the inner work and that alignment that each one of us is holding. But then as we begin to do this together and strengthen these webs of consciousness that we each hold, it's going to really truly bring forth this revolution. And Charlie and I are just very excited about all of this, and to be a part of all of this with each one of you, because we're all doing this together. Of course, he and I together, we have our own union, which is, I'm very blessed because I feel like, Charlie is such a huge support for me and all of my work, and all of the work that we're doing together. But then each one of us is a support. And I think for so long, even practitioners have felt, wow, I'm here doing this huge work for Source, but now we see that, wow, none of us are doing this huge work for Source alone. We're all doing this together. We're all so supported. We're all interconnected, and we're all weaving this incredibly strong and vibrant and beautiful web of co-creation together.
Beautifully stated, both of you. Thank you. And thanks again, Barbara, for the question. By the way, Linda McCabe is going to be doing our KES group healing tonight, and she actually has a question for Laara. So I'm going to find Laara. Where are you, Laara? There you are. So the question for you is, Linda McCabe would like to know if you have any recommendations for how to learn how to write the light codes and to interpret light language.
That's a really good question. And yes, I have some recommendations for that. Light language and light codes are fundamentally a energetic transmission. So anything that you can do to get yourself more sensitive to energy and the qualities of energy is going to benefit you in this mission to learn how to channel it yourself, or to interpret it, or even get into some of the nuances of various dialects. Ultimately, it is a heart-based transmission, so it's helpful for us to do a lot of heart work, to get in touch with our heart, to expand our heart, and know our own energy so that we can decipher with greater accuracy those different channelings and how they come through and what they can all essentially mean or be doing. Because remember, it can be a healing or it could be information.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. All right, we have a question from one of our Facebook participants, and this is for Asil. So let me now find Asil. There he is. Asil,
Hi there.
Jenna wanted to know, how do you choose which locations you're going to go to? How spontaneous does it come through to you? She's kind of curious how you get the information and the planning to go to all these places around the world.
Occasionally there is spontaneity in this, where the guides basically say there is a request coming in from this particular temple in Southeast Asia, and we need you to go. I'm like, isn't there enough people there that could do this? No, but you're listening, and therefore you can do it. Okay, so this is something that sometimes arises, and then I have to shift plans around to be able to do that. In other ways, there is a much bigger picture that I'm given where basically there is energy lines that run across the planet through entire continents, entire countries. And so a core of the work started in the Middle East, and a lot of the countries in the Middle East were covered by going to different places of former battle zones, war zones, as well as countries that are very difficult to get into as a civilian, and moved over Europe and is now reaching all the way into Western Europe. And the other part of the work that we've been starting to do is through Central America to North and South America. And at some point there will be Africa, there will be Asia and Far East Asia and so on. Ultimately, if you have a connection with a country, with a sacred site, in some ways that it's coming to you in meditations, that is coming to you in visions, that is coming to you in dreams, there is an important piece there. And it's worth exploring, either from the comfort of your home or truly making the journey your pilgrimage to that place. It's almost like a soul retrieval. You know, at times I go to a place and I think to myself, I would have never come here if it wasn't for the guide sending me to some ancient temple in Iraq or in Saudi, right? Like just going to a place that I would have normally not chosen to go. And here I am, and I feel a part of my past life or past lives coming together almost like a puzzle piece being set into place. And I feel that a lot of us, we've had so many lives that, for better or worse, are complete or a little bit incomplete. And this is an opportunity to return and connect with the energies that are available to complete certain aspects of our past lives.
Scott, you're still muted.
Turn it over to you, Tanjila. You have a question.
Well, thank you, Asil, for that. That was amazing. And definitely we get that question too for you. How do you choose those sacred sites? And we also have a question that we get a lot for AJ and Tom. Actually, even yesterday, it came in for us. AJ and Tom, people ask us all the time, how did you begin? Do you actually channel simultaneously from the mind of divine mind? And how did that start occurring for both of you?
Great question.
Funny story. We both independently channeled entities. And so when we started our channeling practice together, or our meditation practice, actually, we naturally went into channeling, and we wound up giving each other, taking turns. So AJ would channel the extraterrestrials and I would help facilitate it. And then we'd both be in meditation, and then we'd switch, and I'd channel what we called at the time the grandfathers. And we just do it that way, week after week after week. And then one night, AJ channeled the grandfathers and I channeled the extraterrestrials. And we were like, what's this about? And they kind of explained that, there's one universal mind. We're all together. We're all related. We're all connected. And so we want to introduce you to more. And we want to bring a whole collective through you. Now that we know you can do this. And so that's sort of how that all began.
And, it was really interesting because they said, although we have very distinct vibrations and very distinct energies, which is how you know us, which is how you know your avatars, which is how you know how you're dealing with an ascended master as opposed to an archangel, for example, or, your relative that's passed on as opposed to an elemental, for example. But they all each have distinct energies. But they said, there's no separation up here. We all know each other. And it was interesting because when we asked the question to the native elders, like, how come I'm channeling the native elders now and Tom's channeling the extraterrestrial? And the native elders said with kind of a wink and a nod, well, they're our ancestors. Who do you think we learned from? And so I thought that was just a delightful answer that, knowledge is universal. It's all out there, like the tree of life behind us, reaching up into the sky and the universe, and then the roots down into Mother Earth and Gaia. I mean, we can learn so much from Gaia, just as much as we can from the heavens.
Skill mastery, though, I have to say, is usually jumping off a cliff, right? There's a lot of risk taking. And there was this point when we sort of went with the guides and said, are we supposed to do this simultaneously? We're getting this sense, we literally could feel the energy move from one of us to the other. We'd feel it shift. We'd sort of feel this message that says his turn. And we don't always channel the same entity, but it is always that I know in my head, and this was one of the indications that said to do this, I knew in my head I had a word and he would channel it. And we'd find that was happening quite often. And so we really asked the guides to help us and to teach us, and then we just had to jump off the cliff and try it. And luckily, there's enough patience with the guides that they've continued to work with us and help us strengthen some of those connections. We've learned what we have to do together to maintain that unified mind. And it was interesting, Scott, you said something about us as a couple. There is, and that I just want to say, I would have asked a much more personal question than you, and I just want to say that.
We might still get there.
This time.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is interesting because you have to blend energies as a couple. And so it's been interesting to see how it's changed our relationship. And not that we're sitting around going, I know what he's doing right now, or I know what he's thinking. It's really much more how important it is for us to stay on the same plane, right? We put a vow in our wedding that I really believe in, and it came from the guides. And the vow was, I vow to keep my vibrations as high as possible for you. Because the reality is I can't raise his vibration. I can only raise mine. And so as we both kind of make that commitment, AJ's having a tough day, I'll go to the temple. I'll raise my vibration. And that's been the best, way to keep us connected.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Hey, Ashita has a question for Asil. So
yes, I do. So I love what you said, Asil, about how when you go to certain places, there's a bunch of past life energy that comes back to you. I've had that experience as well. And I think that it can be really powerful to experience that. I'm wondering, I guess this is a two-parter though. One, did you ever have those experiences before you started channeling? And two, what was probably the most powerful or profound place that you've been to so far?
Yes, and yes. So way before I was channeling as a kid and teenager, I would have a lot of dreams of crazy intergalactic nature, like battles of monumental dimensions. And then I would have visions of being a Native American talking to animals and having a reoccurring dream of a wolf that would follow me across the river. So many things that shaped my life in a certain way, to the point that I actually moved to the US as a 20-something-year-old from Europe, that, you know, it was kind of a calling, but the opportunity opened itself, and I then stayed in the US for a very long time. Still am here. And in terms of powerful places and profound experiences, oh man, it's just, there's so many. You know, if you have visited hundreds of sacred sites, every place has something so powerful and so transformative in it. Some of the things that truly stand out are the surprising things, the sites that are not on our list, but the guides say, well, there's a couple things that are not on your list, but you will find them when the time comes. And suddenly, as we're walking down the street in Jerusalem, there's this guy that has rented us an Airbnb, and he says, you know, the real place where the Last Supper took place is somewhere else. It's not where all the tourists go. And I'm like, okay, you got my attention. Tell me more. And he says, well, there is this like old Assyrian church, and in the basement of it, that church was built on top of Mother Mary's home, and in the basement of it is where the Last Supper took place. And if you talk to the priests nicely, they will actually open the door for you. So I was there, and of course they did, and I was able to go down there and do a channeling and receive a massive delivery and download. So these are like little things that stand out. And or like go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is a very important place for Christianity in Jerusalem, maybe one of the most important churches for Christianity. And so I go there, and as you can imagine, on a regular day, thousands of tourists, right? There is not a place to even sit down anywhere or like think about channeling, forget about doing it, right? So, and I'm thinking, oh, there's no way I can do this. Again, I meet some local person and says, well, you know, the best way for you to have some privacy in that Church of Holy Sepulchre is to go to talk to the Franciscan monk and say, you want to do an overnight prayer. I'm like, okay. So I go to the Franciscan monk and I say, I want to do an overnight prayer. And he says, okay. And he says, on this day, we have one more slot. So there's 20 people they let in for an overnight prayer. They lock the door and you can only leave in the morning. There is no sleeping, only praying, right? So I'm like, this is a channeler's heaven, right? A sacred site grid worker's heaven, being locked up in a church overnight, one of the most potent churches that exist. So here I am doing my work there and having, of course, the most incredible time. And the stories go on and on and on. I can write books about wild things that I've experienced.
You know, an example of that I just have to mention is in southern England. While everybody is going to Stonehenge, the powerful place is Avebury.
Avebury, exactly.
Yeah, Avebury is
I was going to say,
right? You know, and everybody's touristing at Stonehenge, and there's like two of us at the Stones. We could be right with the Stones at Avebury. So it's kind of interesting how it works like that sometimes, isn't it?
Exactly. There's so much really still under the radar. Like there's so many things that only very few locals know. Some people that have been there know. And you only get to know that when you have built a certain level of trust with the locals and they feel like, okay, your intentions are pure and you're coming there, you know, to do some important piece of work or being activated yourself. So that's when they open up, and that's when you get to have the lay of the land in a bit deeper way. So I always recommend people to go to the country, make some plans, but not too many, and be willing to be guided across the paths.
That's beautiful. Take a look, by the way, Asil, in the chat box. There's a wonderful message, long message from IATA for you. And I'm going to have you stick around, Ashita, because Laura has a question for you.
All right.
All right. So, what I would like to know, Ashita, is how do you perceive energy and or information? How does that come through for you?
So it comes through in a variety of different ways. As a kid, I knew things very quickly and I could see things. So those abilities were very, very strong. I didn't know why I had those abilities. I thought it was my wild imagination. And then things got more intense as I got older. And then my healing abilities got really intense. As I got older, I would see my hands glowing and I would want to touch everything and move the energy around and heal it. I remember this one moment when I was in my dorm room, my first year of college, and no one was there. My roommate wasn't there, so I had the whole space to myself, and I started to just heal her space, and then heal my space, and then heal her desk, and then heal her bed, and I was a little bit of an out of control healer, but it was really exciting for me because there was all this enthusiasm coming through. So now, as I've developed my abilities, everything kind of comes through. So it's hearing, it's knowing, it's feeling, it's seeing. Sometimes it's tasting and smelling as well. So sometimes I'll close my eyes physically to see what's going on in a reading or a session or a healing. But a lot of times I'll just do it like right now. Everybody is glowing when their auras are very, very present. So I think also my dreams can be very, very vivid. However, I find that spirit comes in very, very clear because they want to make the message clear. So I also feel like it's a very present time thing. If that answers the question.
You're a popular girl tonight, Ashita, because the guys have a question for you. And thank you, Laura.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see your beautiful heart energy. We just love what you do. And we wanted to ask, with your intuition, speaking to you and through you, leading you to these new awarenesses of what people need right now. I'd love to hear about, how you're changing and crafting your practice for these current times, and maybe just, a little insight as to the theme that's come through for you for this coming year.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking that question. And I think you guys touched on that too, a little bit about this big energy and the hurdles that are coming through. So really it's about kind of what Barbara was saying too, normalizing this practice for everyone. And I think really just getting the message out there as much as I can, because as you guys know, it's important to be able to give people ways to step through the door. You can't push them, but you can definitely give them the way to be curious and play. And I think really what's happening right now is I'm taking a lot more one-on-one clients to help teach this stuff more than I am still doing readings, but I'm really closing up those slots because I'm finding that it's not in a reading that people can get the most powerful, but or the most power in themselves, but rather through a teaching so that they can own it to the next level. So I'll still be doing my readings, but not as much because I think that we're also, as a collective, super ready for this information.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's clear the guides really
out.
want you to know.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, this next question's for Charlie. And then actually I'm going to ask it to Charlie first. It's from Diara. And then I'd also like to hear Laura's response to it. And it's about how to be taking this work more into the mainstream. What's your vision or your thoughts about how to take all of this work into the mainstream?
Well, I would say that, let me think about this. Give me 1 second. Taking this into the mainstream, it's gonna what I mean is not so much, I mean, we're going to be teaching this, obviously, but to be able to use this higher intuition and develop consciousness to connect with people on a higher level, I guess is going to start, you know, us being in the mainstream worldly things is elevating other people's consciousness. This is how evolution is going to begin dissolving the corruptions and the, you know, the deceits and all these things in the world and the way things don't work. It's not going to be by judgment by other humans, being like, they're the bad guy, they're the bad guy, and these kind of things. It's going to be people coming in that have a higher consciousness into this, into all fields. It's already happening behind the scenes now. It has been for a while, but we're going to start seeing to be able to do things in a more knowing way. And for me, this is, you know, developing my healing abilities and teaching abilities. But my plan is much bigger. You know, I want to go back into more conscious tree work. I did tree work for years, you know, where I can now work. I'm in communion with the elemental kingdom and things like this at most times. And now we can take that higher consciousness into farming, into tree work, into regular schools and this kind of thing, and integrate it into the books in certain ways that are, you know, it's meant to happen.
Beautiful. Thank you. Laara, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, that was really nicely said, Charles, and I would love to build on some of those points. So normalizing again, like this is coming up time and time again throughout tonight. Everything that we're doing is completely normal. What's the falsity is that it isn't anything but normal. So I think bringing this to mainstream is coming in as grounded as possible, not making a big deal out of things, because it really doesn't have to be a big deal. It's normal. It's completely normal to feel energy. We're sensitive beings. We should feel energy. We should be able to communicate with each other energetically and heal. We all have chakras on the palms of our hands that are capable of sharing healing energy. So I think just being very grounded, being in our heart space, and then sharing whatever it is that we know. We're each gifted in a unique set of ways. And I think learning how to get away from the spiritual jargon that can kind of trigger some people who might not be ready to jump into all things spiritual will also be helpful. So again, very normal words, very normal language, and being clear in the delivery whenever we're sharing something so that it is just almost basic, like it's almost simplifying things, not making it too complicated, because I think it's very easy when we get into talking about all these different energetic things, like we're trying to describe things that are a little bit or a lot abstract. It's very hard in a lot of ways for the human brain to conceive of a lot of the things that we are experiencing. And I think teaching people how to feel, how to trust their intuition, which is why, you know, Ashita, the work that you're sharing in your show is brilliant. You know, like, I think SoulSearch is a really good answer. Actually, is a really good answer for bringing this to the masses and making things all more mainstream.
Beautiful. I'm going to bring up everybody now because we've got a few questions that we'd like to get a couple of responses to. So I'm going to bring you all up.
We have a great question from Omashar, Scott. He's asking, well, he's directing it for AJ and Tom, but you know, I'd love to hear Asil or Ashita also comment on this, because this is a question that comes up a lot. How do you both discern that your messages are coming through purely and clearly and not being colored by your lower vibrational mind?
Yeah, it takes time. And I would say that and I think everybody probably will say the same thing, that there's a mastery of concentration that you have to work through. And it's really about intentionality. You know, I would say that the hardest challenge when I started channeling was to say, am I just making this up? And I think most of the people that we work with who are developing as channels say the same thing. And it really is a matter of concentrating. It's one of the reasons why trance channeling is used, because it just clears everything out. It just
Step
takes you
aside.
out of all of that so that you can be where you are. It's actually quite a lovely aid.
And so it is in your practices. And one of those practices that you'll see is that we have these shawls on. And these are high vibrational shawls that we wear that signify that we are in the mode of the channeling. We have invited the guides in. So that's, one aspect of it for sure. And the other is just empirically, we record all of the channeling sessions that we do. And for our private clients, we actually send them a transcript of the session so that they don't have to take notes and they've got that to look back on. But, when I look back on that, clearly the words and the information is not something I could put together. I'm not that smart,
I feel that way all the time.
Yeah, and it really is remarkable. And you know what else is remarkable is that as we're reading the transcript, you can't tell whether Tom said it or AJ said it. It's this seamless train of thought and vibration. And that sometimes I have to pinch myself on that. I'm like, wow, that is incredible.
Ashita has a question for Barbara. So there's Barbara, and here's Ashita.
I also didn't mean to I also didn't mean to cut AJ and Thomas off, and I want to add to that very quickly because yes, I think it is about mastery, and I also find that healing yourself is part of being able to heal and understand or connect to your intuition. So really working to heal your own whole auric field so that you can get in clear communication really helps. And then I work with the lower chakras before I prep for being in that space. So that's how I do that. But Barbara, I have a question for you, and I'm wondering what you're bringing to SoulSearch TV because I have a feeling it'll be great. I feel like you're bringing something too.
Yes, that is it's past the percolation stage, in the development stage. So thank you for asking that. First of all, I just want to say how much I love you. I mean, really, sincerely, I love this woman. She brings so much joy and presence and grace to everything she does. And I'm so heartened that the global world now will get an opportunity to share in her infectious joy. So she makes my life happier. And so I just want to say that. So thank you.
Love is mutual. So much mutual.
It's a love fest in the SoulSearch TV family, which is we truly are a family, and I think that's what makes us really unique as well. But so thank you for asking that. Oh my goodness. So yes, I do have a show in development. My whole, as you all know, my mission is to create conscious content disguised as sheer entertainment so that it's a safe space for everybody to enter into and explore these possibilities. So I have a show. I don't know that I can say like exactly what it is yet, but I'll tell you, I guess, what I can say, because we have investors involved and all that kind of thing right now. So it is a show that combines food and mediumship. So we will be showcasing families of different cultures where they are all about the food from wherever country their family is from. And we will be I will be working with these families, kind of showcasing their stories, hearing their stories and actually preparing recipes. And we will have, I can't yet tell you what mediums yet, but there are some very beloved mediums who are going to be joining us and doing readings for the family. So the premise is that food and cooking and community and sharing that love opens portals, and it allows for easy spirit communication. And so we're hoping to get messages from loved ones in spirit, and so we're hoping to bring in foodies who don't quite know they're not awake, and spiritual people who will learn more about food. So it's a win-win. I'm 100% Italian, so I grew up with food is joy, and then this little psychic child, and feeling spirit all around me all the time whenever there were parties and big events. So as a matter of fact, I have to share the first thing after my mom passed. The first thing she shared through the most detailed mediumship reading I've ever heard. She came through, and the first thing she talked about was the food that we served at the celebration of life. So yeah, so that's when Italians pass. That is what you can look forward to. So I'm really excited to bring that to SoulSearch TV, to add to all the diverse entertainment that we're providing. And I also would love to give a shout out to Tanjila's upcoming show that I am so excited about. And Tanjila, do you want to say a few words about your own amazing show?
Oh, sure. I'm happy. I'm very excited about Barbara's show. And yeah, so I have a show coming out called The Enlightenment Experience, where we'll be interviewing leading spiritual teachers and leaders and in the world, and really bringing forth what is the enlightenment experience for the now age? What does that mean for all of us? Again, bringing enlightenment into the mainstream. This is not something for Buddha or for a monk out in a cave. It's something for each one of us to be experiencing in this very moment. And again, it's just, bringing these concepts, into everyday life for all of us. So that's the show that I'll be bringing forth. And actually, we have so many questions coming in now. So I want to go back and actually, I think Asil, we had you just to comment also on how do you differentiate between the energies coming in, as well as you can take on Darina's question, and we can have some of our other panelists chime in as well after you. But Darina is asking, what is your take and experience with the evolving interspecies communication and relationships, especially with those that we engage and interact with the most, such as domesticated ones we call pets, animals, children and teachers, dogs and cats, as well as wild and highly intelligent ones like dolphins, whales, birds, etc.
Got
So
it.
two-part question.
Yes, two-part question. So the first one is, I didn't even know what trans-channeling was when I started doing it, and it was a little bit freaky. And basically, I thought I'm losing my mind, or I'm experiencing schizophrenic symptoms, where another part of my brain is talking through me or to me. And I thought, man, this is really troubling. I'm not sure how I'm going to talk to people about this. So, but it was a very intelligible conversation, and I was not destabilized in my life. So it didn't seem to be something bad. It's rather something enriching. And over time, I learned how to allow them to talk through me and not get in the way with my judgments, with my interpretations, or with my flavor of my consciousness. And more, I was able to step aside and just be in an observer state, completely neutral, as non-attached as possible, so that the message that comes through is as pure as possible. They also told me not to read books and not to do, not to learn other lineages or pathways, to keep my slate as blank as possible, empty cup as possible as I could be, and a lot of practice, as AJ and Thomas already mentioned. It takes a lot of work to refining this vessel that we are in order to make sure that the information and the messages that come through are as originally intended as possible. Of course, it will have a flavor of my vocabulary, maybe even my beautiful Austrian accent, but ultimately, it is meant to be as purely delivered as possible. And to the other question, which I forgot a little bit. What was that again?
I'll give you a little clue.
Clue. Oh, yes. Puppies. Puppies and kittens.
Communicating and relationships with animals, pets, as well as dolphins.
So as the energy is rising, as the frequency is rising on this plane, what's happening is our consciousness is expanding and we're able to perceive significantly more than we used to. That is, nobody's exempt. Everyone is getting that, right? So the veil is getting thinner for everyone. What that means is we'll be able to have conversations with a tree and with animals and with beings of elemental nature over beings of higher dimensional nature. That is going to make it very interesting to be a human being on Earth. And so that communication is becoming, for me, so much more clear and so much more undoubtedly available, as it will be for everyone else too. That, again, will take some practice so that we know, okay, how much is my mind flavoring this or my preconceived notions? But ultimately, this is happening, and it's happening to everyone. And it is going to be the most fascinating ride in human history.
Exactly. That's beautiful, Asil, because yes, we're all communicating with these different beings and we have these capabilities. I don't know if any of you guys, anyone else wants to speak to that question about, this interspecies, interbeing communication, that powers that we all have and that are coming forth more strongly.
I think that answer was beautiful. I did notice a question in the chat that I really hope we can address.
Oh, sure. Yes. We can go to that.
It's a common one about competition.
Mhm.
And I think this is really important because this is part of the awakening world, is this movement away from me and I and you into a real community.
Us.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll ask the question. That's great. We'll go to Sylvia's
you.
question. For any and or all presenters, how do you peer support for each other and with each other? And how do you co-create and collaborate with sentient beings in community? And how do you see those connections helping transforming the current quagmire?
They're so critical. So, the guides often say that all of you, all of us are sentinels because we're standing ahead of the rest of the population. That means we do that together. And so those antiquated norms and you see it at fairs, right? This is why we love SoulSearch Fair, because I don't see it there where people are like, my business, your business, who's getting the client, who's not. Forget that. That's not what any of this is about. This is really, so my support for my beloved brothers and sisters tonight is because we're all singing the same song. And it's essential that we all sing the same song. And so the more I cheer you on, the better we all accomplish our mission. So,
but something, more than that is that, this is part of developing your practice. I really benefit from Reiki. I really benefit from Om Asha's music, the high vibration of music and sound baths, for example. And as we come into this awareness, we'll come into these understandings that these are the essential things that we need. We don't need to be turning on the 6 o'clock news. We need to be ringing a gong and clearing our energy from the day. You know what I mean?
And what a great thing to think about what the rest of my colleagues are doing and the work that they're doing as a way to help inspire my own.
Yes.
We really do. This is what encouragement is in my mind.
Yes.
And so that we applaud one another rather than think at all about competition. And I have to say, that's also in partnership with all the spiritual beings. right? So
Yeah.
that's part of that partnership. There's no competition there either.
Yeah, the Ascended Masters doesn't have the exclusive on universal knowledge. It's all, there's no separation. And so the more we can come to that oneness understanding together with Gaia, Mother Earth, and our animals, which are all communicating to us and all sharing with us and all ascending in consciousness with us at this time. It's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I want to riff on that for a moment too, and then we need to move forward.
Yeah.
And that is when the pandemic hit, I really saw how so many different spiritually oriented communities came together. It was really beautiful to watch. And, you know, there's a lot of crazy things going on in politics and so much division between Republican and Democrat and mask versus no mask and all that, vax or no vax. But in our spiritual communities and the people that you see on the Awakening World, the Evolutionary Leaders Network, SoulSearch, Unity Earth, you know, all these different people, there was like, hey, whatever is your truth. And it was like a shift of the higher vibration people, the ones you see on this show, were like inclusive and accepting and understanding, and we're all collaborating and supporting each other. And it was a big shift from that competitive world, because I grew up in the entertainment industry in LA, which is very competitive, to the world that we're all sharing and that you're describing right now. And look at how we all are supporting each other even tonight, right? It's very, very beautiful.
I'd like to add something to that for a split second, if I may.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So the one thing that I'm seeing is this huge wave of awakening that humanity is going to go through. And I'm seeing millions of people awakening at the same time. We're going to need everyone who has been in service to step up and do their service and to support each other in this process. There is absolutely no reason for competition because we're going to have our hands full. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And everyone who's been considering to be in service, get in gear because it's coming.
Beautifully. Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. And Laara, you were just saying something as well in the chat, but if you want to share with the group as well your thoughts, we'll have you jump in here as well.
Sure. Yeah, I was just saying that the only way to create the golden age, which is really where we're trying to get to right now, we're getting there, is through supporting one another in all that every individual needs to share and express. Again, like standing in your power, in your love, being of service, and uplifting not only yourself, but everyone else around you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. And so we have this incredible community of practitioners and, you know, all coming together in support of this great awakening. And there's, you know, we are operating far beyond like that old paradigm of competition. This is all about collaboration, cooperation, and supporting one another. All of us, being those pillars of light, anchoring in these energies for ourselves, for one another, for the collective. It's just so powerful. And I love that you asked that question, Sylvia. Thank you. That's great. So, thank you guys for all these amazing questions and for our presenters for jumping in and answering. Do any of our presenters want to add anything else just as we wrap up? And I know, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to thank everybody for everybody here for your enthusiasm and all of the high vibration energy, and again in that gorgeous spirit of collaboration. We're doing this. We are doing this.
And also, actually, I wanted Charlie to share about his show that he's coming through with, which we're working on. It's Multidimensional Travels with Charlie Lamson. So, Charlie, would you like to share about what you're bringing through and how it relates to what we've been talking about here?
Yes, well, I'm preparing a show or creating a show that walk people through the evolution through the epochs and how the different timelines have worked and how it's coming together now. When it feels like we're we hear all these beautiful things of Atlantis and Lemuria or the celestial realms, not understanding completely why it was imperative for us to come into this fallen consciousness to individualize our consciousness. Even in those very high consciousness times, we were still very much sleepers and parrots, and even the high priests we just were taught to speak things into existence by other, because we were clear channels all the time. And so we did this, and then so it required for us to gain our individuality to actually be disconnected almost, to put it simply. And then when we went into this process is what we're in now, what we call the kingdom of the rainbows, or the post-Atlantean epoch. But now we're becoming God-realized, self-realized beings. All right, this is what ascension, I think this is what people speak of as ascension. And, we're remembering who we are. And so I've got a lot of memories and a lot of things that have come through to me in the times where we did learn and master many things in all these times, don't get me wrong. And now we're unlocking them in our light bodies. All the memories begin to come out, everything you've mastered. Like Asil was saying, to be able, as your consciousness is expanding, it's like natural to commune with the trees. It's natural to commune with the elementals. Even tonight, while I'm sitting here in this office, my office is in a very mystical building. They're all talking around me like I can't hear them, wondering how long I'm going to leave this ring light on. They're like, why is he still here? Why is he still here? So it's like, so it's happening, and then when you start acknowledging, if you don't believe you're having the experiences yet, acknowledge the trees and talk to them like people, talk to them like beings that they are, and you will very soon start seeing it. And like AJ and Thomas was saying, it's like, is this my imagination? Or because they're all characters, they all have their own little personalities, and the angels have their own personalities, but it comes with a feeling of love and purity and innocence. Even when they're being little troublemakers, there's an innocence about it. There's something that resonates within you that, man, I can't make this up. This just isn't, it's not me. And so I want to bring these connections in while I'm giving the stories or talking about certain things. I know my whole team is blessing everybody and activating the memories within themselves. So it's like not so much what I'm doing, but what I am doing, right?
I want to say thank you to everybody. We got to move forward. But what a wonderful show. A big thank you to all of you for the wonderful things that you're doing. One last time, everybody, go to SoulSearch.tv, SoulSearch.tv. That's where you can learn all about these incredible programs, the ones that are already on and the ones that are coming soon. And of course, we'll continue to collaborate with SoulSearch and Tanjila and all of you. And I also want to invite people to join the Global Peace Tribe, especially a lot of you who are watching on Facebook right now. Come join Global Peace Tribe. It's easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. You can learn all about all of our shows, all the different people that we have. And you can then click where it says register for the new season. That'll take you to our registration page. But for any of you who don't know, we do 2 or 3 live shows every week. We've been doing this for almost 4 years now. And we have amazing presenters like you've seen all night tonight. We have a lot of wonderful things planned for the upcoming year. On Wednesday night, we had John Gray and Catherine Woodward Thomas, the 2 best-selling authors of relationships in the world. We're both on this show just last Wednesday night. And then, of course, all the wonderful people you've seen tonight. Join us. I'm really excited to announce that Marianne Williamson is going to be doing a show with us coming up very soon in the next few weeks. We're going to have a solo show just with Marianne sharing about her platform. And we always have KES group healings, which my beloved Deborah has helped to organize. And we are going to have a group healing tonight with Linda McCabe. But just to help us with that transition and to digest all this wonderfulness, one more Omashar song.
Well, here we go. One, two, three, four. Let me shine a light inside, and I'll show you where your truth resides. I'll lift your eyes up to the skies, and I'll prove to you that nothing dies. Let me take your hands in mine. As I look at you, your spirit shines. I know you hear me, so please do not feel me, 'cause I am here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you and be your victory. My child, I will welcome you home. Welcome you home. So when you take a different view and you dream awake, breathe out the new. The world will come alive again as we dance and sing and make new friends. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you and be your victory. My child, I will welcome you home. Welcome you home. Welcome you home. So when you take a different view and you dream awake, breathe out the new.
That's all Twinkle Omashar. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any thoughts that you have after watching tonight's show, my friend?
Just to keep going, holy smoke. You know, it's like we are coming to a place where we are going to distill everything, so our focus is always on the divine, 100%, totally. I know it takes a while to get there, and it's easy enough to say this. It is a practice, and I just realized that the refining that each of the presenters tonight have had to do to come to where they are now, so that I can hear and go, yes, that is truth, and it resonates with me. And so for me, it's just focus on the heart, focus on the divine always. I know my mind gets in the way sometimes and I mess up, but I pick myself up now really quickly. Namaste.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Omashar. And hey, I want to remind everybody, there's one other announcement. Remember that Swami Beyondananda, you saw him last weekend. He and a lot of our favorite people are going to be doing a very special event on January 11th. So that's coming up this week. And he's got Larissa Stowe. I talked to Larissa today. She's excited about it. So Larissa's going to be there, Steve Farrell, a lot of our friends, and of course, Swami Beyondananda. So definitely put that into your calendar, January 11th at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. It'll be another way that we will all be coming together. And of course, we hope to see you on Wednesday night. We've got a wonderful show planned for this Wednesday night. As always, I'm really excited about this month's offering. So keep joining us. I noticed that Carol had spoken about the spirit of Ubuntu. A week from tonight, we will be celebrating Martin Luther King weekend, and we'll have Pato and Antoinette who will be showing clips from their documentary that they filmed in Africa last year about the spirit of Ubuntu. So that's going to be next year. I think I need to mute Omashar. There we go. So, all right, we always conclude now our shows on Saturday night with KES group healings. And Deborah, do you want to share a little bit about what the Christic energy system is while I bring up Linda?
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I hope that we will have a chance to be on SoulSearch TV too.
A little bit louder.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, we'd love to have you.
Thank you so much. I think, yeah, I hope that we will be of great benefit to you and your audience and your beautiful audience. So yeah, the Christic energy system is really a holding system more than a healing. Of course, it's basically a shift of energy. So everything that is not filled, every single atom that's not filled with 1000% light gets transformed, and the light comes in so that everything gets whole again. And of course, that is the process of healing. And we're talking about past lives, future lives, we're talking about karma, we're talking about dharma, we're talking about the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, we're talking about everything you can imagine that really is capable to be transformed, and it's not quantifiable, and it's just really the divine that is working through us. So we get a glimpse of the light that goes everywhere, and it's only as much as you allow. So we always really can only repeat the word that I've once heard from Joshua, when he healed a blind man, and the blind man was full of gratitude for the healing, and Joshua was just saying, it's your faith, you did it yourself. And that's what we feel about KES as well. Whatever you allow is happening. We are just facilitators. The light is going through us exactly as beautifully as everybody shared tonight. We're not doing anything. We just allow really the light and the consciousness to work through us as much as you, beautiful souls, allow us to do. Yeah. Linda, what do you think?
Beautiful. So good to see you, beloved Deborah. I miss you. Love you so much, both you and Scott. And I'm delighted to be here and be part of this incredibly uplifting show. So it's a joy. Scott, I think I'm going to have to transition to my laptop, though, because my phone just decided it's close to ending its battery life. So I'm going to join on my laptop, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, keep an eye out.
And I'll leave from here.
Okay. So yeah, Linda will be with us in a moment as soon as I see you coming back on. And I did mention actually this Wednesday night, our show is going to be another edition of Authors That We Love. And one of those authors is Dr. Jerry Schwartz. You saw her on the show. She's one of the co-founders of the Visioneers. She's written a wonderful book all about aging and all about creating a whole new life, regardless of what age we might be. And I think that's going to be relevant for a lot of people. And we have 2 other authors that will be joining us. So definitely make sure you're with us on Wednesday night. And then again, next Saturday night, it's going to be celebrating Martin Luther King weekend with Pato and Antoinette and several of our other wonderful people. And I guess while we wait for Len to come back on, was there anything else you wanted to share, Tanjila?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. And we had such a beautiful comments coming in about the show, about the energy. And, this is just, an example of what we can all create together and what we are all creating together. So I just wanted to thank all of you for co-creating the new energy and the new earth together that we're bringing forth. So beautiful. And also stay tuned. We have many live events coming up. So if you are in Scottsdale area, come check us out January 13th and 14th. AJ and Tom will be there, Joan of Angels, Suzanne Ross. We have lots of amazing speakers, presenters. And then, of course, we'll be in San Francisco, January 27th and 28th. Asil will be doing a beautiful presentation there, the Age of Conscious Creators transmission from the Elohim. So if you are in the Bay Area, definitely come by for that. And then we will be at Conscious Life Expo, February 9th through 12th. Laara will be there. She will be having a booth. She's giving a number of presentations. If you also please vote for her new book, part of the for the Conscious Life Expo Book Award. So definitely make sure you go to the Conscious Life Expo website to vote for Laara's new book, Ascension Codes. And Laara's giving a number of presentations. Asil is giving presentations. I know, Charlie and I are giving a presentation. We have 2 booths at Conscious Life Expo, the Soul Search right at the entrance when you enter the International Ballroom. Come join us and put your name in a raffle for a free reading or a free healing. And then we have a number of our other soul searchers, including Amanda Romania, Jeanette Rousseau, Galaxy Starborn, all having cocktail tables in our other booth as well. So we'll be at Conscious Life Expo. Come check out Laara, Asil. So many of our soul searchers are going to be there. Scott, I'm sure you'll be there as well.
Yeah,
too.
I will be there. The Twin Ray are planning
Yeah.
on most likely being there. Ashita, I see, is going to be there.
Yes,
speaking.
exactly.
So Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo, February 9th.
And Ashita is speaking as well. So, you have the chance to see a number of our amazing soul searchers live. And then we actually have another Enlightenment Expo in Marina del Rey the following weekend. So,
a lot happening.
A lot happening. So we're excited to be able to connect with all of you in person. And of course, we'll be always doing more shows with the Global Peace Tribe and with you, Scott. We love you guys. So, and yes, you'll put in the chat, San Francisco Expo link. So, oh yes, because I had asked, do you have a link for the event Asil will be speaking at in SFO? So yes, just go to soulsearch.io/San Francisco Expo, and then you can sign up there. It'll take you to the link to sign up for Asil's transmission. That will be on January 13th at 6:30 p.m. It is, I don't know if it's his first time back doing a live event in San Francisco, but it is going to be a great one. So definitely, if you guys are, I know a lot of you guys are in the Bay Area on this show. So I know a lot of you have been to our Marin events and our Santa Clara and our Santa Cruz events. Definitely come over to San Francisco. We'll see you there.
Tanjila, I love collaborating with you, and I'll talk to you soon. And of course, we're still talking about some exciting things that we'll announce in the future.
We have a lot of more things to announce with Scott and Soul Search TV. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Love you, Tanjila.
Love you too.
Linda, I'm going to turn it right over to you. Take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. I am impressed with all the offerings and the beautiful, beautiful sharings. And I have been taking notes and just so many beautiful quotes that have come out of tonight. So as beloved Deborah has shared, the Christic energy system came through Sanandaji and Chikima, our teachers. They have brought them through from a future timeline, a future golden age, and brought it here. So it's a very quantum system. And it's an honor for me to share with you. Given the time, it's after midnight for me. So given the time, I'll do a very short meditation. The energies here are so beautiful. I think it wouldn't take people very long to sink into the energy. So I invite you. Oh, and what I want to say was I will speak a little bit in the beginning and then I'll go quiet. The beloveds work through me. The higher beings will come through. And my role is really to be the clearest channel that I can be for this work. And beloved Omashar is going to play his music in the background. And so that is always an uplifting and healing experience for all of us. So thank you. So I will, I'll give you a nod, Omashar, when I'm going to go in the silence. Thank you. So, beloved family of light, the Global Peace Tribe, and all those who will watch this recording, I invite you to take the breath. And as AJ and Tom shared, that with every breath is a new opportunity for a new beginning. So let us take that breath, knowing that we have a new opportunity tonight to begin anew. We have seeded our seeds both at the beginning of the new year and in each day, each moment, there's an intention and opportunity to deepen into our purpose, into what we're bringing forward in this beautiful, amazing year. So as we breathe in through the breath of peace into our hearts, let it expand through our entire bodies, our beautiful, open, radiant hearts, and moving through deeply through the entire body, and on the out breath, breathing out any heaviness that does not serve our session ahead. And another breath of peace and stillness through the entire body, expanding, relaxing, softening, and uplifting, and breathing out, connecting with the intelligence of your soul. And as you breathe in again, and I ask that you breathe in a way that is slow and peaceful and really healing for you. To breathe in, breathing down, bringing your attention to the grounding cord that is dropping from your body, and let us make it a gold grounding cord as it drops through the buildings that you're in into the earth, feeling her cool, dark, nurturing presence. And you're being drawn almost like a magnetic, the gravity is pulling you down, down through the layers, through the kingdoms and queendoms of our beloved Mother Earth, down through the rocks, the crystal, purifying as you go down, and you come to her crystalline molten core. And the grounding cord locks in like a magnet, and you experience her, all of her love, as she welcomes you, her beloved child. Your body that was birthed from her elements. She knows you, every bit of you, and welcomes you. Welcomes you and the contribution that you are making. And as she greets you, your heart begins to harmonize with hers. You feel her love, and you share yours and your gratitude. And as you bring this love back up through the levels and layers, you come to the crystal kingdom. And there's a crystal greeting you, one that has been waiting for you, that knows you well. And you return the greeting, and you notice that the crystal has prepared a special crystalline bed, a healing chamber, and invites you to lie down. And as you lie down, it feels so comfortable. Soft even, surprising. And it begins to surround you in a most comforting way. And you notice the color, sound, frequency, and vibration. And as you breathe this in, knowing that you can leave it at any time. But as you're there, you're like the caterpillar, awaiting the transformation into the butterfly or the dragonfly, whichever suits, whichever vision captures your imagination. And coming back up, bringing your consciousness back up, and into your body as the love of the mother, the divine mother, goes into every cell and into your heart and expand your heart, connecting each heart, each one in this global peace tribe, connecting as well all those in the replay, connecting your hearts with one another and forming this beautiful container. And then moving through the next breath, moving up through the crown, up through the atmosphere, to the suns and the suns behind the suns, to past, having gone past all the planets and the stars and the zodiacs, all the way to the great central sun, receiving the divine masculine, the beautiful, beautiful energies of the divine masculine, the love, the strength, the wisdom that is yours, that is here supporting you and bringing this down, back down through all the suns, through the kingdoms and queendoms of this beautiful cosmos, into the crown. And this divine masculine, this electric energy is moving through every cell in your body. And as it comes to the heart, it connects with the magnetic love of the mother in this beautiful merging co-creative dance. And you realize that this is you, the divine feminine, the divine masculine is you here now, present, merged, integrated. This beautiful column of light moving through each chakra. And imagine this container of light that you're in, beautifully surrounding you. The prayers have been set. Higher levels, angels and guides are here. The beloved, Sanandaji and Shakina Ma are here. The beings of light from the realms of illumined truth are here, all supporting you. And you may sense, feel, or perceive a beautiful golden Christic shield coming up through from the Earth Star, up through your bodies, pausing at each chakra, clearing any energetic debris from the physical body, the light body, and the bioenergy field. It goes all the way up through this container. And anchors into the soul star above your head, continuing to spin until the end of the session. And I will proceed with the clearings. And I invite beloved Omashara to gift us with his music. And now as we bring this healing to a close, I'm reversing spin on the Soul Star Golden Crystal Shield and bringing it down, continuing to clear, close, and seal the energy. And as we're closing, we know that we have received this presence within our hearts. So we are that peace on this earth. May you always know that you are held in love. May you always know you are seen and cherished. May you continue to choose the beauty of your love. May you uphold the cherished principles of love within your heart. May you feel your value and worth as divine, for you are the glory, the light, and the love. May you cherish the sacred life and the miracle you have been given. And taking a breath, we release our higher levels, angels and guides, releasing the beings of light from the realms of illumined truth, releasing of love and gratitude, beloved Shekinah and Anandaji. And know that each of you, contributing your love, your energy, your frequency, vibration, and your commitment to this golden age, this new world, have released a significant amount of energy from the worlds, the collective as well. And I am deeply grateful to each of you and to all those who are on the replay for your act of grace, kindness, and love. Blessed, blessed be. Turn it back over to you, Scott.
Thank you, beloved Linda. We're here at the Haven, the Twin Ray location in Ashland. So it's very beautiful to receive your incredible gifts. And thank you so much, Linda. A lot of people are thanking you.
Very grateful.
Do you offer private sessions for people?
I do, yes.
Can you put into the box the best way?
Yes, in fact, my email address is right here beside my name.
Okay.
But I can put that in the chat. Hold on, where is the chat? There it is.
Yeah, put that in the chat. And if anybody wants to put in their thoughts, their comments, their experiences of this beautiful KES healing. And here comes Deborah back. Oh, no, she's off to the bathroom. So thank you very much again, Linda. Very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, it's been another amazing awakening world. What an evening. And thank you, everybody, for being with us. And I always appreciate that there's still 39 friends still with us. And wishing you all a beautiful sacred Sunday tomorrow. Remember, we can make any Sunday, any day sacred by choosing to see the divine in all. And, take care, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening, beautiful day tomorrow, and we'll see you on Wednesday night.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gonna go to gallery view. There we go.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night. Thank you, Omashar. A three-song night. There's 3 Dog Night, and tonight was a 3-song night. Take care, y'all.